Connor Norby is on fire. Let's discuss on Fantasy Baseball today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Monday, September 9th. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White, and let's talk about some of the biggest waiver wire hitters from the weekend. And we got some big performances from Connor Norby, who hit his 6th home run on Saturday and then hit 2 more homers on Sunday in 18 games with the Marlins. He is batting .329 with 6 homers, 18 runs scored, and 2 steals. Also a big weekend for Spencer Horwitz, who hit 2 home runs on Saturday and then followed that up with another home run on Sunday. And over his last 28 games, he's batting .290 with 8 home runs for the Blue Jays. Scott, both these guys have second base and some kind of corner infield eligibility. Who do you like more between Connor Norby and Spencer Horwitz?
Well, we're at a point in the season with only 3 weeks left where we're playing week to week, and Connor Norby has the better matchups next week, especially since there are 5 lefties on the schedule for the Marlins. He absolutely demolished lefties at AAA this year. So I got to say Norby, I might like the skill set for Horwitz better long term. But what was notable about both of their multi-homer, well, I guess they both hit 3 home runs over the weekend, each had a 2-homer game, 3 home runs overall. What was most notable about it was neither of these guys stand out for their raw power. Exit velocity readings are kind of but they legitimately clobbered these balls. Connor Norby hit an opposite field 435-foot blast. His shortest home runs of the 3 this weekend, the shortest one was 401 feet. And then as for Horwitz, both of his home runs on Saturday were hit more than 420 feet. So, they've shown, even if, the average exit velocities aren't standout, they've shown they can put a charge in the ball. The power isn't fake. And that gives me a lot of hope for both going forward. There are downsides to both. Norby is striking out around a 30% rate. Horwitz tends to sit against tougher lefties, so there's a playing time issue there. But I think they're both usable. They're both among my sleeper hitters for next week. I do prefer Norby, though, because of the matchups.
Let's take a look at some waiver wire pitchers with good matchups this upcoming week. Andrew Heaney is at the Mariners. Frankie Montas is at the Giants. Matthew Boyd is at the White Sox. And DJ Hers is home against the Marlins. All 4 of these had good starts this weekend. Scott, how are you ranking Hers up against the Marlins, Boyd at the White Sox, Montas at the Giants, and Andrew Heaney at the Mariners?
I am ranking them Boyd, Heaney, and then I'm not sure I care that much about the others. It was Hers and who else?
Montas.
Yeah, that's the order. Boyd, Heaney, Hers, Montas. The 2 that I have among my sleeper pitchers for next week, because remember, we're playing week to week, are the first 2 I mentioned, Boyd and Heaney. Boyd gets the White Sox. Can't ask for a better matchup than that. And then Heaney gets the Mariners, which might be the second best matchup because they're so strikeout prone. And that's going to work to Heaney's benefit because he's had trouble pitching deep into games. I believe the 6-inning start Sunday was his first in 5. That was more than 5. And yet 4 during that 6-start stretch, he's had 8 strikeouts. So it might be one of those 5 innings, 8 strikeout starts against the Mariners, but it's more plausible given that that lineup strikes out so much. Boyd, I mean, he just knocked out the Dodgers. So you would think the White Sox would be easy by comparison. And I think it'll go well. We've been down this road enough times with Boyd that in the long run, it does seem like his vulnerability to home runs trumps anything he does well with strikeouts or walks. But I don't think it'll happen in this start against the White Sox.
Let's wrap up by talking about Jared Jones, who had his best start since coming off the IL. 7 innings, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts with 15 whiffs on 92 pitches. And he looked like a completely different pitcher in this one. He threw a lot more curveballs. His velocity was way up. Scott, what did you think of this performance from Jared Jones? And are you starting him this week against the Royals?
Yeah, I thought it was a big step in the right direction. His last start was a step in the right direction too. But the introduction of the curveball, if that indeed is what it is, they're there are some weird things going on in terms of velocity and vertical break that made me wonder if there might be some kind of classification issue there with the slider, but maybe not. We'll find out. It may legitimately be Jared Jones just bringing in this third pitch, which could be a game changer for him. He had been struggling for a while, even before the IL stint, and maybe had become too predictable. So this could be a big development for him. I don't think he's must start against the Royals. That's a tough lineup, obviously, but I wouldn't be afraid to start Jared Jones. And, I just have to weigh my options.
All right. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.